Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
It happened without warning, without a countdown, and without the kind of announcement fans usually expect from a global pop moment. In the quiet hours of the night, while most of the world was asleep, something unexpected began to ripple across social media platforms. Reports started to emerge that Zhao Lusi had stepped into an entirely new artistic space, releasing an English-language track titled Different Shade of Red. Within minutes, timelines were flooded with reactions ranging from disbelief to admiration, as fans tried to process what they had just heard. This was not simply another entertainment update. It felt like a shift, a turning point, a moment that blurred the line between familiar identity and something far more mysterious. For years, audiences have known her through heartfelt performances on screen, soft-spoken charm, and roles that carried warmth and comfort. But this time, the tone felt different, almost distant, yet deeply personal. And perhaps that is why the reaction has been so intense. Because when an artist you think you know suddenly changes the language of their voice and possibly the direction of their story, it forces everyone to stop and pay attention. And now, the question echoing across the internet is simple, yet impossible to ignore. What exactly is this new chapter, and why does it feel like the beginning of something no one was prepared for? Across online communities, the reaction to Different Shade of Red has been nothing short of explosive, not because of spectacle, but because of contrast. For many fans, Zhao Lusi has always represented familiarity, a sense of emotional comfort through her on-screen presence. Yet this new release appears to challenge that very perception. Listeners describe the track as atmospheric, emotionally layered, and unexpectedly introspective. The shift into English has added another dimension, opening her expression to a wider global audience while also reshaping how people interpret her artistic identity. Some fans say it feels like witnessing a private thought turned into sound, something less polished in the traditional sense and more honest in emotional texture. Others are surprised by the tonal direction, noting that the delivery carries both softness and strength in equal measure, almost as if two emotional states are existing at the same time. This duality is what has sparked conversation, because it is not just about language or genre, it is about perception. It is about what happens when a public figure steps outside the frame that audiences have carefully constructed for them over years. And in that moment of departure, even briefly, curiosity takes over. People begin to ask whether this is a one-time creative experiment or the beginning of a longer transformation that has yet to fully reveal itself. What makes this moment even more compelling is the silence surrounding it. There was no traditional promotional build-up, no extensive media campaign, and no obvious attempt to shape expectations beforehand. Instead, the release appeared almost quietly, as though it was meant to be discovered rather than announced. That absence of explanation has only deepened the intrigue. In the world of entertainment, silence often speaks louder than promotion, and here it has created a space for interpretation. Fans are filling that space with theories, emotional reflections, and detailed breakdowns of lyrical meaning. Some believe the title itself, Different Shade of Red, carries symbolic weight. Red is often associated with passion, intensity, love, and even emotional risk, but a different shade suggests something altered, something that has evolved or fractured into a new form. This has led to discussions not just about the song, but about what it might represent on a personal level. Whether intentional or not, the ambiguity has become part of the experience, inviting listeners to engage rather than simply consume. As the conversation continues to grow, another layer has emerged, focusing on artistic identity and transformation. Transitioning into music, and particularly in a global language like English, is not a small step for any performer known primarily for acting. It requires not only technical adaptation, but also emotional vulnerability, as it exposes a different side of creative expression. In this case, the response suggests that audiences are not merely evaluating the song itself, but the courage it may represent. There is a growing sentiment among some viewers that this could be an early indication of an evolving artistic path, one that embraces experimentation and personal storytelling beyond traditional expectations. Others remain cautious, preferring to view it as a standalone creative moment rather than a defined career shift. This division of interpretation is part of what keeps the topic alive, because uncertainty, when paired with emotion, often becomes more engaging than clarity. And in this space of uncertainty, every detail matters more than usual. Every sound, every lyric, every pause between notes. At the same time, what cannot be ignored is the emotional response the track appears to evoke. Listeners describe a sense of introspection, as though the song invites them to reflect on their own experiences of change, identity, and emotional complexity. There is a feeling of something both fragile and resilient running through the performance, a contrast that mirrors the very idea of transformation itself. Rather than presenting a clear narrative, the song seems to exist in emotional fragments, allowing each listener to interpret it differently. This openness has contributed significantly to its spread online, as people share personal reactions, translations, and interpretations. In many ways, it has become more than a release. It has become a shared conversation, a digital space where meaning is still being formed in real time. And that evolving nature is often what gives a moment its cultural weight. Looking at the wider picture, this moment also highlights how modern audiences engage with celebrity evolution. Today, people do not only follow careers, they follow transitions. They observe how public figures shift, adapt, and redefine themselves over time. And when those shifts happen unexpectedly, without explanation, they tend to generate even greater attention. In this case, the lack of clarity has allowed imagination to take over. Is this a symbolic reinvention? A personal expression that was never meant to be fully explained? Or simply an artistic exploration shared without expectation? Each possibility carries its own emotional resonance, and none of them cancel out the others. That ambiguity is precisely what sustains interest. Because as long as there are unanswered questions, the conversation continues. What remains clear, however, is that moments like this rarely exist in isolation. Whether this is the start of a larger creative direction or a singular artistic statement, it has already achieved something significant. It has captured attention not through spectacle but through curiosity and emotion. And in a landscape where countless releases compete for visibility every day, that alone is remarkable. People are not just listening, they are interpreting, discussing, and connecting. And in doing so, they are shaping the meaning of the moment collectively. For now, the story of Different Shade of Red remains open-ended. It sits in a space between certainty and interpretation, between familiar identity and emerging possibility. And perhaps that is exactly why it continues to resonate. Because it does not tell the audience what to think. It invites them to feel, to question, and to imagine what might come next. If you have been following this story, Thank you for staying with us here on Update X 24 Hours. We truly appreciate every viewer who takes the time to watch, reflect, and share their thoughts in the comments. Your support is what allows us to continue bringing you these evolving moments from the world of entertainment in a thoughtful and engaging way. If you enjoyed this breakdown and would like to stay updated on more stories like this, make sure to subscribe to Update X 24 Hours and turn on notifications so you never miss a new update. We are committed to delivering content that not only informs but also connects emotionally with the stories behind the headlines. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep following the moments that shape the world of entertainment as they unfold.